What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Combine. My name is Andrew Montana. I am your co-host/host. We're still figuring out the kinks. And today we're going to be talking NBA basketball, NFL Combine, believe it or not. And for our third segment, we're going to be giving a nice, warm goodbye to our old host, Cameron, in the best way we know how to, by spewing hot takes at a mass rate. So don't go anywhere because the Combine starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back. We are here with Ezra Hines and Ray Collado. Boys, if you want to introduce yourselves, go ahead.
Hey, I'm Ezra. I've been on a couple times. Feel free to keep watching because this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, I'm Ray. I've been on a couple times too. Never been on air with Andrews or Ezra too, so nice to be on air with both of you.
You've never been on with me? Like, at all?
No.
Seriously? First time for everything. And after your takes today, it might be a last time for everything. So
No kidding.
We're going to go ahead and talk about NBA awards up until this point. If you guys don't know, which hopefully you should, last weekend was the All-Star break, and we are going to be looking at who deserves what awards up until the All-Star break. So, Ezra, if you want to go first, you have Defensive Player of the Year.
I do, and I don't really think it's that competitive. People may say, like, another name like Jaren Jackson Jr., but I think it's OG Anunoby this season. OG Anunoby's averaging, well, just basis, he's already averaging 16 points per game, 5 rebounds, but he also averages 2 steals. He has a 112.8 defensive rating, which is, I think, top 15 amongst forwards in the league, and that's pretty good for a team that's not very good on defense. I think they're also about middle of the pack, 15th in the league for defensive rating. So to have that high of rating and to be playing at the level he is, he's carrying that Raptors team right now, especially on the defensive side. And I think when you put him up against guys like Jaren Jackson Jr., it's no point in really competing with that because Jaren Jackson Jr. fouls out every game. And then there's not any other person, realistically, that I think is that high on that list. It's really just them two, so OG is going to win it, in my opinion.
What would you say about, I'm not debating it because I'm not really into, the DPOY ratings and all that, but, Giannis, AD, Bam.
AD hasn't played
AD
enough games. Giannis hasn't played enough games. Bam's arguable, but his team just hasn't been that great.
Successful
this season,
enough.
So
I
can't really say he's been he's a good defender on his own. His team defense doesn't change because of his though. Whereas OG's team defense absolutely changes. If they didn't have OG Anunoby, they might be the bottom defense in the league.
That's a good point. Yeah, Raptors don't have much defense otherwise.
They got Scotty Barnes, which is cool. They got Fred Van Vliet's not as good of a defender as he is in other seasons. And, yeah, that's honestly really it. So there's not really anybody else there. So, yeah, OG's got it.
All right. Well, Ray, do you have any debates?
Debate on that? No, but I do have another take that apparently a lot of people disagree with me.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll transition into that right about now.
Here
Ray's
we go.
MVP, Joel Embiid.
No.
There's a lot of people in the MVP race right now, but we'll hear him out.
Joel should not be there.
Okay, first of all, no, Joel should definitely be in the debate for MVP. He's a leading scorer. He's averaging a double-double right now. And I'm going to go with a narrative approach. He didn't touch a basketball till he was age of 15. And he's
What does that have to do with this
has
season in
nothing to do with
particular?
this season.
Because we all know it's all about the story. The NBA is a script. It's about the story. Now let me go on. He's like the lonely kid at prom. Everyone's
What
always
story
leaving
did
him.
Jokic have for winning 2 MVPs straight? That he had an abundance of Coca-Cola in his veins at the age of 5?
No,
he
look,
deserved it
look,
for having
I'll
the
get
highest PR of all time on top of Wilt Chamberlain.
Preach.
Look, I'll get to Jokic in a second, but first of all, he's like the lonely kid at a prom. Everyone's leaving him. Ben Simmons, Jimmy
does
Butler,
prom have to do with MVP?
everyone's leaving him. And let's not talk about Jokic because when they went head-to-head, let's not forget he outscored him 48-24 and had 18 rebounds on top of that.
But
we're talking about head-to-head. They played head-to-head, and who came out on top?
Ezra,
It doesn't matter about head-to-head. It matters about who's actually the better player. Because when you look at it, what is Jokic better, or what is Embiid better at than Jokic?
Scoring.
No.
Bro, he's
He averages
over 10 points.
He averages more points because he has a facilitator, whereas Jokic is the facilitator and the scorer.
And on top of that, if we're talking about who's going to win MVP, he's already won 2 MVPs in a row. Dude, when's the last time have you ever seen a 3-peat MVP?
Well, you're going to see it, so it's not going to be that difficult.
I'm willing
And
to bet
also-
on air that he's not going to win MVP this season.
How much?
I wear if he wins MVP, I'm willing to wear a Jokic jersey on set. I'll wear
Deal.
I'll wear a Jokic jersey.
You realize
and
that
no,
you
no,
have
I'll,
one?
I'll get
You
you.
have one.
Yeah, I'll get one. I'll get one. Trust me, and I'll get
You're
you.
gonna pay like $100-something.
I got one. Don't worry. That's how confident I am. And
Jokic-
you're wearing an NB jersey.
Jokic literally has the best offensive rating in the NBA, which with 135.4, which
He is
is
also
which
averaging a
is like
triple-double, if I'm not
5
mistaken.
higher than anybody close to him. You want to know what Embiid's is? 121.7. You want to know who he's lower than?
Wait, no,
Josh Hart.
no, I'm-
Josh Hart from the New York
No.
Knicks and the Portland Trailblazers.
I love that you brought triple doubles into this because there's a certain player who averaged a triple double for 3 seasons in a row. What's his name again? I think you called
Wait,
him
wait,
Russell
wait,
Westbrook.
hold on.
How many MVPs
how many
did that man
points
win?
did he average the second 2 seasons that he averaged a triple-double? Because the first one was what, 31?
31.
31.
The next couple were
Jordan.
about 24, 25.
Baba Booey.
And 24, 25. How many points is Jokic averaging right? 24, 25.
Like 24, but he's also
Yes,
averaging,
but you also
like,
got to remember that
and he's
Westbrook
top
was
seed in the West.
Yes,
So-
Westbrook was literally a 4th or 5th seed in the West, whereas Jokic is the undebatable top seed in the West
with
right
MVP,
now.
you can't. I hate to bring in wins. Hate to really judge wins because that punishes players who's been on bad teams. Because then, by that standards, KD was MVP every single season when he was with Golden State. But I feel like if you ask anybody who knows
That's
a lick
not
about
true.
basketball, he was
That's
not
not
MVP.
true.
So you think he was MVP? You think he was MVP when he was Golden State?
No, because if that's the case, it would have been any of the guys that actually won MVP, also known as James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, who were actually the best player in the
James
league
Harden
at that
dropping
time.
36, 8, and 6 with solid percentages, and what? Also like top of the West in 2018.
No,
How
he
is that-
actually wasn't. He was like 4th seed, but his stats were so unreal that he deserved it because it was like
Outside of that, yeah, no, that was a generational season.
No,
to be
by
fair.
far,
And
so-
also, you mentioned Joel Embiid as a top scorer. He leads
The top scorer.
He leads Luka Doncic by 0.0 points per game. They average 33.1 points per game. And then next is Damian Lillard, 32.3.
Oh,
The difference between 1 and 3 is 1 point per game. 1 and 2 is 0.
and where's Jokic in the standings?
Oh, he's far down, but don't worry about that.
Facilitating.
If Embiid's a center, he has to average a
Also-
double-double anyway.
Also, Jokic has so much gravity in general, it's not going to be possible for him to get a lot of points because when you watch him play, he attracts like 4 defenders on him at all times. How is he going to score in that? So it's more easier for him to facilitate when that. It's like
And if he
it's
wants
like
to
watching
score, he's
Curry
going
in
to be
the
shooting up
playoffs.
bad shots on double teams in the paint, which is what he doesn't do. Hence, they're top seed in the West.
Look, because you got to think about it. Because yes, stats play heavy into this, but you got to think about who's voting. There's a such thing as
nobody's
called
voting for Joel Embiid. I can promise
No
you.
one's. I can guarantee you this. He's not winning 3 MVPs in a row.
I can guarantee you Joel Embiid's not winning an MVP.
So you're not gonna even get him an MVP caliber player.
I didn't
Oh,
say
he
that.
is. He is. He's up there.
absolutely
It's
is.
right now.
he's been-
Right
he's
now,
not beating
Luka,
Jokic.
Jokic, Embiid,
Yeah.
Giannis. KD kind of fell off.
He's
He's
top
hurt.
5.
Ja
hasn't
could be
played
argued
enough,
because he's second in the West, but
Embiid's top 5. If debatably
definitely up there.
debatably top 3, but he's not close.
I wouldn't say
to
he's
winning it.
one.
No.
I don't know who I'd vote for personally
He's
because
not
for
2
Jokic,
or
the
1.
points do set me back a little bit. But they're like they are really just in a really tight. Oh, and Tatum.
Yeah.
God, I
Yeah,
hate that man.
That's why I was thinking because like you
Yeah.
said KD, but I was like no.
Yeah,
it's
no,
gotta be
no,
Tatum.
I forgot about him. I try to forget about Tatum, but let me merge into my most improved player.
Definitely a
Let's
lot better pick.
Chill
this
out
time.
a little bit.
see how
Most
that
improved
ages.
player, Lauri Markkanen. He's
Absolutely.
been balling out this season, and he was even upgraded to an All-Star starter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
right?
absolutely,
Yeah. Since last season, he is averaging 10 points more than this season than he did last season. 2.8 rebounds more, 6.9 better percentage from the field, and 5.1 better from 3, which is insane. And right now he's averaging what, like 25 points per?
He also has
25
great-
points per game,
His
8
shooting
rebounds.
splits are unreal
Yes.
too.
Yes.
He's almost 50,
become,
40, 90.
He's become a really dominant shooter for the Utah Jazz to the point where he's in the three-point contest. He didn't do particularly well. But that's besides the point. Why was Julius Randle? I don't know why I'm even talking about Julius Randle. I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
New York
we can talk
slander
about
can go
Julius
all
Randle.
day.
I'm okay to talk about Julius Randle.
Yeah, no, but no, let's not do that.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, Lauri Markkanen has been balling out this season. I think the main competition for this award would be Shea. I would have taken
I
Shea,
wouldn't.
but the difference, the jump between last year and this year isn't as significant as Lauri's.
Also, like sometimes you do take into fact team records sometimes with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shea's team record hasn't really changed that much. Like they've gone from being really bad to just not
Slightly
great.
better. They're 13th.
Whereas
Jazz
the
are
Jazz had no expectation to win anything this season, and
In fact,
Lowry's
I thought they were
got them
going to
in.
significantly worse.
Not to say that the Thunder aren't in a playoff push, but
But yeah, with that all being said, sorry, with that all being said, that's going to conclude the NBA segment. Tune in because Isaiah Delgado is coming right back with some NFL Combine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hitting the Field Network. I'm your main show host, Dominic Moeller, and this is just a little PSA to come check out our network. We have shows for all your favorite interests, sporting needs, or really anything if you're interested in the world of sports. Of course, our first show is The Combine with Cameron Forcier and Isaiah Delgado. It's more of a laid-back podcast type beat. But next is the main show. The best show ever created, the best show ever engineered, pioneered, with me, this pretty face on your screen, this handsome fellow. Going to be talking about mainly the main things of the wide world of sports. And then on Thursdays, we have Nighttime with the lovely Emily Aaron and the handsome and dashing Camden Mallory. Then right after, for all you gambling addicts out there, I hope you viewers aren't gambling addicts as much as some of the other people in Hitting the Field. We have Hitting the Field bets with Riley Shepard, Jeffrey Laux, and Waluka Costa. And then we switch it up. We don't always do shows. We like to do a little bit of interviews too. We do interviews with a lot of sports athletes, such as Corey Marksman, that I did. Shout out Dominic Moeller right here, this guy. And then, of course, Kristen Scott with Camden Mallory. And we have more coming in the works. We're always innovating and thinking on our feet. But if you want to join us, be sure to DM Hitting the Field on all social media platforms and networks as well, because we're open to anybody to come through and just check out the program. But be sure to tune in, as Hitting the Field will be seeing you very shortly. Take care.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Combine. I'm your second host of this episode, Isaiah Delgado. We're going to be talking about the NFL draft prospects because today, well, when this airs, it'll be Tuesday, and the NFL Combine will be starting. So how you guys doing over there? Ty, Phil, welcome back again.
I'm doing great.
Doing awesome.
Yeah, you guys got some little weird draft crushes that you like?
A lot of weird draft crushes.
Definitely a lot.
Yeah? Who you feeling, Phil?
I'm a defensive person. I love defense. So my person is Eli Ricks, who went to LSU and then he transferred to Alabama.
Yep.
Now, he does have a little injury problem. He was injured throughout his college career, but he's a great corner, I feel like, in this draft. In his LSU days, he had 20 tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 pass breakups. He had pick 6 against Florida and also South Carolina. Okay? So, but then now, his problem is that he can play a little aggressive, more like Trayvon Diggs. Last year, Trayvon Diggs, 11 interceptions. That was great, but fortunately, he also led up 1,000 yards in receiving. But this past year, he got great. He wasn't so overly aggressive. But Eli Ricks, I have his pro comparison to Richard Sherman. He's 6'2", 195, but he can also play man coverage as well. Richard Sherman was more known as a zone corner.
Absolutely known as a
He is, but Eli Ricks, he could follow you around the field. He has great hand-eye coordination. You know, he forced interceptions, so I really love him in this upcoming draft.
You're gassing him up, but he hasn't really had a whole lot of, his health concerns definitely have to be present.
Yep.
He came in and he was damn near a perfect prospect, right? He was a 99 overall when we were looking at 24/7, all the things. So I'm like, this guy, he's going to be great. But he goes to LSU. They're good. Obviously, they develop people at defensive back, Teron Matthew, all the different people, Patrick Peterson.
Patrick
but
Peterson, yeah.
I don't know, bro. He didn't pan out the way I think his career was supposed to. He didn't allow any touchdowns this season. I'll give him that. I think he's getting a lot of hate from all the stuff I'm checking online.
I feel it's just injuries. You know, in college, you have to stay healthy.
But Grant Delpit wasn't healthy, and what has he done since he got into the league? He was a hot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. No, I definitely get what you're saying. But I feel like he's going to be a sleeper. I see him going as late, probably first round. This is probably a hot take. Late first round, early second. No,
early
I'm
second.
not trying to take anybody's money, but he's not going first round, bro.
No, he's not. He's definitely not going first round. Like you can argue late second, maybe early third.
We didn't know Cole Strange was even going to get drafted first round. And look
all
what
right,
happened.
we're not even going to get into that. That's a Belichick bias.
I understand that, but
Cole
he's
Strange.
All right, who you feeling, Ty?
I really like Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee.
Yeah,
I think he's a sleeper. He's sitting at 62 right now on the big board. Last year he had 67 receptions, 1,267 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 12
5
games.
against Bama.
5 against Bama.
blown
against
coverages,
Bama.
but it's okay.
Yeah.
Come on,
Eli
bro.
Ricks.
Blown coverages.
But no, I think Hyatt plays very similar to Devontae Smith. Before 2 years ago, you couldn't have skinny, wide-out, vertical wide receivers, and now Devontae Smith came in and changed the game. And both of them are sitting at 6 foot, right around 180 pounds. They're both very, very talented, and a lot of the time they just run go routes. I think Hyatt has a high ceiling. I think he can run a lot of short routes.
He's definitely not as developed as Devontae Smith when
No.
it comes to being a route runner, bro.
Yeah, no, not at all. But I mean, like, just watch him on verticals. He creates separation out of nowhere. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think he can be special.
I think it's there. He's developing. He's developing. I think he's got a high ceiling. I will
yeah.
say that. I just don't know that he's refined and his roots and everything.
Unlike Eli Ricks, I think he does have the potential to go late first round. If
He's not going first round either.
I think he has a chance. There are a couple good receivers in the first, but a lot of teams that need receiver. I think someone might slip and end up taking their choices: Zay Flowers, Jalen Hyatt, maybe Parker Washington. Like they're gonna have to make a choice. I think he might be.
Here's who I want to talk about at wide receiver. Here's my little I didn't even throw a highlight in there because it's like he was playing against scrubs. He went to SMU. I love and respect like his pops. I'm gonna talk about Rashee Rice. Okay, he's nasty. He put up over 1,000-some yards. He was a senior though at SMU. He didn't put up crazy type production through his first 3 seasons. His final season he balled. But I was like, you know what? He's the GOAT's son. The GOAT. Like, Jerry Rice's numbers are untouchable. So I was like, maybe his dad was a late bloomer. You ever look at his numbers in college? He wasn't a late bloomer. He put up like 1,800 yards a season as a receiver. So it's like, And I was like, well, maybe he's just like, maybe he's bigger than his dad. Maybe there's some sort of like selling point. He's the same size and weight as his dad was. So it's like, he's got all the NFL pedigree, but he doesn't have the production that I would have liked to have seen from somebody who's a Rice. You know what I mean? But I'm rooting for him.
I mean, yeah, because like Antonio Brown came from I think Central Michigan, and Tyreek Hill came from I believe West Alabama. It was West Alabama, I think. It was.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But anyways, like you know, you can always find a diamond in the rough, you know, in these smaller schools. So yeah,
It's
I'll
just
root
his
for him.
production.
Yeah.
His production got me a little nervous. But yeah, as far as guys you love, those are guys we want to see a little bit from at the combine. But who are some guys that you love, like outside of them?
I want to talk about yours.
Oh, you want to talk about mine?
Oh yeah.
Well, this dude, he basically demolished my Hurricanes. I'm gonna go with Josh Downs from North Carolina. You know, 5'10", not that tall, but he's a great receiver. His career, he had 2,483 yards, 22 career touchdowns, which is second most at NC behind Quinshaw Davis. I said his name
What'd he do
correctly.
in the league?
I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing. Josh Downs only played 3 years, while Quinshaw Davis played 4 years. So he had 25 to 22. So I feel like if he would have stayed one more year, he probably would have broke that record and became most.
Do you want to say what I want to say? Go ahead. I'm gonna let you
I want to talk about how Josh Downs has crazy speed. I don't know if that's what you were going to talk about.
No,
but
it's not. He has great speed, but his production numbers kind of dipped off this last season, coming off of, what was it, sophomore year? So, like, and he had Drake May. So, like, this guy's arguably the top quarterback in next year's class. It's between him and Caleb Williams. So, it's like he had everything set up
Buccaneers, probably future Buccaneer.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I would love for us to get somebody good. We probably won't. But, like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, again, I'm rooting for him, but it's a little questionable the way they was, you know. He didn't ball out. I like to see consistent production. And none of these guys really are showing it in this class when it comes to wide receivers, but I do respect their upside.
I do think, though, that his stock rises after the combine.
Oh,
I think he's going to
absolutely.
have a crazy
He's gonna burn 'em.
combine.
Nah,
I think
he
he's gonna
definitely
have
is.
an
He's
He's not
definitely
putting
is.
up John Ross.
He's
42 numbers,
going to
but
be a
it's
poor
quick.
man's Tyreek Hill coming into the league.
We were just talking about this before the show, but I
Jalen Waddle.
genuinely think that he might go to the Chiefs or Eagles at 30 or 31.
The Chiefs
They
are always
both-
looking for the next one. But look, there's a lot more like McCole Hardmans than there are Tyreek Hills. Remember, he was drafted to replace him when there was the whole alleged suspension. So, all right, who you got now?
I have Noah Sewell.
More pedigree.
Brother of Penei Sewell, which I didn't even know this, but there are 4, and there's another brother that plays for the linebacker for the Saints right now. I didn't even know that he was in the league, but Noah Sewell is just a beefy guy. He's
Brother
6'2",
big. A lot of steak and
260
potatoes.
pounds.
Big boys.
I don't know what they feed him. He's just, look at him right here, big beefy guy.
It's
It's
crazy,
just
dude. He's big, but what was his production?
you don't see.
Oh,
okay, listen. You don't see a lot of these shorter guys that have all this physicality at linebacker. He's easily the most physical linebacker in this draft, and he's sitting at like 95 on most big boards. Okay. I had his comparison close to like a Bobby Wagner type. I think that he could.
That's all guessing.
His
That's all
biggest
physics-
problem.
that's all guessing
okay,
on
look,
measurable.
Look, his biggest problem is coverage. A lot, like his pass rush and the ability to sit in and
And play
pass the
linebacker.
it's good, but his coverage is not there. He needs to work on that. But
fair.
being the most physical linebacker, I think somebody's gonna
Again,
find that
high upside.
rather
These guys are all
attractive.
dominant in the roughs. That's where we're shopping. But I want to talk about somebody real quick. All right, this guy, he put up. If I were to tell you that this person put up 1,580 yards to another person's, what are we looking at here? 1,359. All the numbers are roughly the same, like 14 touchdowns to 18 touchdowns. One guy's being touted as a generational prospect. The other guy's being touted as a third rounder. Maybe he'll be a backup. It's stupid. Bijan Robinson is getting all this love and respect, all right? He's a big, beefy boy. If anybody's ever watched Bijan, it's nasty. But Zachariah Charbonnet is who I want to talk about real quick.
Zachariah
Yeah,
Charbonnet.
you think it'd be Zachary? No, sir. He's
Zachariah.
basically Amish in the name, and he chops his feet like he's chopping
His
wood.
last name sound like a
He's
wine.
disgusting. He's disgusting, bro. I love him. I love him. Zachariah Charbonnet could really cook him, bro. Like, his feet are he just chops it up. He really does. He looks like Devontae Freeman out there. Devontae Freeman had multiple Pro Bowl seasons. He's 5'8", like is what Devontae Freeman was. We're looking at Zach Charbonnet, and the man's 6'1", like 230.
Okay,
He's-
but what did Devontae Freeman do after the Super Bowl?
Okay, listen, we're not going to talk about one season when he took them to the Super Bowl and could have won it for them if they would have fed him
He
the ball.
took him to the Super Bowl.
Hey, we're not going to talk about Matty Ice Cold modern day. What I want to say
he
is,
won
look at him.
MVP that year.
Look
Grant
at him.
Wheeler and the
He's
Colts
big,
giving
he
Stone
finishes
Cold
runs, he's built the same as Najee Harris, and he's a fifth-year senior. So, like, all this stuff, he was highly touted coming out of college. He's got all the upside, and everybody's just sleeping on him. So, give him a little love. We'll watch him at the Combine. Hopefully he balls out, but we'll be back with the next segment when
That guy
Cameron gets
stinks.
to host.
Zachariah stinks. Yeah. He's not good.
HCF Hot Takes. I'm Johnny Jackson. We've got Emily Aaron to my right and Maluka Costa to my left.
Hello and welcome to our segment of Hot Ones. I'm here with Noah Kemper and Grant
Wheeler.
Yep, I knew that. Grant Wheeler.
Listen, I'm a Bills fan, but I just can't ever argue against LeBron. I watched him my whole life.
I've been going back and forth with this debate for a long time. It's got to be Michael Jordan.
Whatever she wanted. I would wake up in a maid costume for Doja Cat.
Brutal.
Jeffrey Laux, no question.
Richie, I would give it to Richie.
It is not Richie. It is not Richie.
No, it's Jeff.
Richie's pronouns are he, they, because he cannot be him.
What?
Oh, where's that?
I'm gonna have to also agree and say Jeff. He always is spiffy.
It might be Cameron. Cameron's had some good fits.
Out of the women, Norelli always dresses really, really cute. Whoa.
That went so awful.
It's basketball.
College football, I think, is the best sport to watch.
If you don't like soccer, it's because you suck at it.
I think college football is the best.
Thanks for watching.
What is up, y'all? I'm here, back in my chair for the last time, I guess. We're actually going to do hot takes because there's nothing more fun than just saying absolute garbage. In the rundown that we made, or that one of them made, they made sure to say it must be Jack level stupid. So here we go.
That is exactly
To say something about Jack, but the opposite. Andrew, start your take.
So this is actually catered to you and to Jack.
Oh, no, it's Minnesota.
Yeah, it's Minnesota. I am going with the hot take of Minnesota Timberwolves not making neither the playoffs nor the play-in. Oh my God, Jack
That's
is
a
on the
pretty
floor
stark
laughing.
difference considering the fact that Jack sat right there earlier in the last semester and was like, Timberwolves are top 3 in the West.
Top 4.
Timberwolves are top 4 in
Timberwolves
the
are
West.
making-
The Timberwolves are making the Western Cup. Jack,
They're beating
Jack, Jack, you're
Might
a
as well make the
Timberwolves
Super
fan.
Bowl,
You,
too.
you should know. It doesn't matter if Cat hasn't played, man. You guys can probably hear him off camera. I don't know. He's pretty loud and emotional
Pretty
right now.
upset.
He is in tears. He is rolling over, crying.
Shattered his phone.
He threw it across. Anyway,
Jack, pull your pants. What?
it
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, no, the
the we-
Timberwolves, as you can see, 9th in the West at the moment. They were 8th when I originally made the graphic.
and then they
Golden
folded
State.
against the Warriors.
Lost to Golden State, so I had to go back. 9th West.
Yeah,
9th
that's
in
why
the
you went
West.
back, not because you didn't put Minnesota Timberwolves.
No.
They're only 1.5 games against the Thunder, who are 13th seed.
Yeah, but they're only a game and a half back of the 5 seed.
Yeah,
the
but that's
West
not
is
gonna happen.
very.
Also, they in their next 19 games, they play 13 on the road, in which they suck. They have a very bad.
Let's not
very bad
forget how
losing
smart
record.
it was that they traded away the sexiest man in the league, D'Angelo Russell, to the Lakers, who are now gonna pass them in the standings. Like, it's just,
Lakers won the
Almost.
trade deadline.
Almost there.
give it time,
We,
give it
we
time,
went
give it
from
time, give it
13th to 12th last night too.
Yeah, good
And
job.
they went down. You're going down. They're trending up.
Exactly. How about that, Jack? Lakers are winning it all this. Okay.
Okay, that's the hot
That's
take.
the hot take.
Isaiah.
I want to talk about the Falcons because nobody's going to talk about the Falcons. Let's pick a bad team and pick them to win the division. Let's pick Lamar Jackson to get traded to the Falcons, win MVP again, and we're going to bring in Kyle Pitts. We're bringing him back from injury. With one ACL, no ACLs, any ACLs, the man's going to be the next Mark Andrews. He can put up bigger numbers. He's more athletic. He's better in every way. I'm going with the Falcons to basically break every freaking record. They might make it all the way to the division. They're winning the division, straight up. They're going to get Lamar, and then they might even win the NFC.
They win the NFC?
Let's talk about the fact that the Falcons had the most rushing attempts. They had one of the best rush offenses. They had no quarterback basically there, right?
Yes.
And who was in the NFC Championship? The 49ers. The 49ers who were predicated on the run.
Much better head coach
Predicated
team.
on the run.
The
Predicated
number one
on the
defense in
run.
the league.
Predicated.
The number one defense in the league. A top
On the
5 wide receiver. And a top 5 offensive weapon in Deebo
Sounds like
Samuel.
you're cherry-picking stats that
The
make your
best running
argument
back
look
in the
better right
league
now.
in Christian McCaffrey. There's a big
Okay,
gap.
and what
There's
does
a
Jack
big
call
gap.
Lamar Jackson? The best running back in the league. So like,
Second to Jalen Hurts.
so like, if we're really gonna go about
Is this just a Jack episode?
if we're going hot
No,
takes,
it's-
if we're
it's
going
hot
hot
takes.
takes, it's that
Basically, yeah.
man's gonna be in a Falcons uniform.
love Lamar.
Did you make that jersey swap?
Did I make that jersey swap? Have you seen me use Photoshop?
It's not pretty.
You
It's
need to
not
help
pretty.
exporting, bro.
Yeah.
not
What's
pretty.
your hot take?
So I actually have a few for football. I have the Jaguars making the AFC Championship game next year. I think people are forgetting that they get back Calvin Ridley. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. Football and sports in general, progression is not linear. Between Zay Jones, it's like 6 letters.
You think Calvin Ridley's putting money on them being good?
Of course he is. I think Trevor Lawrence takes that jump. I think you can't really expect the same level of production from Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, but like you can expect similar-ish. I think the defense is stepping up a little bit. Obviously, they're much better coached with Doug Peterson than they were 2 years ago with Urban Meyer. That's one of them. And they're going to get stomped by one of the Chiefs of the Bengals next Jim's game. But that
Shout
doesn't
out to
make
Zay
it.
Jones because another Isaiah is succeeding. But I need to bring up, like, Christian Kirk got a boatload of money, and he's not even being mentioned in your argument right now.
And he played up his contract. He
He
played to his
decent.
contract.
He played decent.
yeah.
But is he their wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 with Ridley coming in?
2. But like it doesn't matter. Calvin Ridley's still wide receiver 1, and he's solid.
What else you got in your pocket for these steamy takes you want to make?
Um,
On your way out. This is his
On my way
goodbye.
out, I have a defensive player in the NFL next year finishing top 3 MVP. Whether it be Michael Parsons, J.J. Watt, one of the Bosa brothers.
Michael
I
Parsons.
can see it
J.J.
happening.
Watt?
Not J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt. My bad.
Come on, bro.
My
He's
fault. My
enjoying
fault.
his
my fault.
life and
Yeah, he's chilling wherever he is.
wherever.
I can see it.
Can't
I
go
can
eating
see it
Subway.
happening. They can be dominant enough.
My sub's got bacon on it.
Ooh.
My sub's got 4 more rings than your sub.
It's not even the same sport.
Not even the same.
Okay.
I don't
But
care. It's Subway.
Michael Parsons didn't really do that well in defensive player of the year voting, and now you're saying he might be an MVP
Next
next season.
step up. It's linear, of course, obviously.
What else you got? I know you had a lot. You were talking off camera about all the stuff you wanted to pull.
I gotta wrap up. Every single person in this room is gonna make me wrap up. I guess I'm done. Thank you, everybody. I guess I'm done. Thank you, everybody back there. Thank you, everybody over here. These guys got it. I trust them. If you need me, don't call me. Don't text me.
I'll FaceTime you.
We figured that out last
Till
night.
2 in the morning again.
You didn't figure anything out. Isaiah figured it out. Isaiah figured it out.
I figured out that he hadn't figured out from you that.
Isaiah FaceTimed me and he's like, I'm not hanging up. And I was like, neither am I. So
I wish that I had
so
included a
shared
graphic
my
of you
screen and went on
too.
TikTok. Anyways,
Doug, I was watching
thank you
Funny
guys.
Bear.
Thank all you guys. Bye. I'll be back eventually. Maybe.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the